Welcome back to Daybreak this Monday morning. It's been almost a week now since the restrictions on Romanians and Bulgarians coming here to work were lifted, and there were warnings we'd be flooded with new immigrants.
Well, the greatest fears focused on the Roma community, referred to as gypsies, but were some of the alarmist headlines justified? Well, our Katie Fawcett is in a Roma settlement in Caracal, west of the capital Bucharest. And Katie, you gained access to what's a secretive and quite closed community, and what have people been saying to you?
Well, yes, Lorraine, I've been getting a real insight in Romanian Roma life. For example, here in this mahala in Caracal, around 9,000 Roma live here. Just 5 minutes up the road, there are some mansions the size of hotels, and yet they're packed into these blocks. And you can see the roofs are completely crumbling, which means when it snows, and it certainly snows here, that comes straight into people's homes. They've got no money. They live off £20 a month. So the gentlemen, they make objects that they can sell to farmers. It's a form of self-employment, and that is what the Roma community are particularly good at, making work where there is none. So they say lifting restrictions in Britain won't make a difference. They've been coming there for years.
This is daily life for the Roma community in Smirdoasa. Scumper tells me they are considered as rats, unable to get jobs or put their children through school. But they say there will be no mass migration to Britain in 2014 because most of those who could leave have already gone. I spoke to Mariana in London in December. She told me she has 8 children in Romania. She was spending a month here as a tourist, begging for money to take back home. But other Roma are here to stay. Slough alone is home to an estimated 150 families. George came here in the 1990s. He shares a 2-bedroom flat with 8 other family members. Before working restrictions were lifted last week, Romanians could only stay here if they had a job offer or were self-employed. George and his family found that one form of self-employment is selling the big issue.
We're buying the magazine with £1.50 and we're selling it with £3 to make a little bit of profit to live on.
Despite being days away from giving birth, George's wife Contessa is still selling. She'll have her child at an NHS hospital. Like his brothers, he will go to school, but George insists these are the only benefits his family came for. In 2010, Nick Radu came to Britain and did every job he could think of to remain self-employed.
I have to be a painter, I have to be a cleaner, but I did it because I really wanted to stay here.
Nick has now achieved his dream and is teaching at an East London primary school. He believes opening the job market will stop people abusing the system.
Even if you don't work, you can write your own invoices, you can prove it at the bank, you can put some money cash in and you can pull it out, and that means you prove yourself you are self-employed. So it's quite easy to trick the system.
Well, we're joined now by Nick Radu, who you saw there, and the leader of UKIP, Nigel Farage. And Nick, first to you, you've made a really good life for yourself here. You've worked very hard and you've made a good life. And you know some of the people that we've just seen in Katie's report. Do you think that there's going to be a massive influx of those people? Are they going to come here?
No, I don't think that. Because we are legitimate to come here from 2007. Who want to come here, they're already here. So those people, actually, they are people with no skills, uneducated. So to be employed, that means you have to have some skills. If you're self-employed, you can be a cleaner, you can be a car washer, but when you're going to be employed, you have to have some skills. Who's going to employ you if you don't have the skills? So I don't think a lot of people will come.
It was interesting what you said there about being able to kind of work the system. And how do you feel when people say, you know, the Roma people are they're scroungers, they're here for benefits, criminals, you know, they're here to rob us? I mean, what would you say to that, to those accusations?
All the people around the world, they have good and bad. You know? So who am I to judge them? I'm not agreed with them. But you cannot judge a community by 20 beggars in Marble Arch. We are lots of people here, we are thousands. And if you don't see that, that means we're integrated. We have good jobs. We try our best actually to become British. We really love this country. I feel myself British now.
Very few immigrants have turned up from Bulgaria and Romania. Isn't it time for you to cut the rhetoric, Nick? Nigel, you've got this wrong, haven't you?
I mean, look, it's the 6th of January, and let's remember the track record, which is in 2004, when we opened up the doors to 8 countries, 8 former communist countries. The government said 13,000 a year would come, and about 1 million came in the first 3 years, all right? So the track record of British governments on this is not good. Important point to remember is huge numbers of people have left Romania already, and they've gone to Italy, and they've gone to Spain, all right? So they are already people who are mobile, out there in the jobs market. The Eurozone is in very serious problems. I suspect that the biggest number of Romanians that come to Britain over the next 5 years won't come directly from Romania, they'll come from Spain or Italy. And as far as discrimination against the Roma is concerned, let me say this. You know, whatever's been written in the tabloids about the Roma is as nothing to the discrimination that the Roma get in their home countries, and I'm sure Nick would agree with that.
But shouldn't you be encouraging people like Nick to come to this country? They've got a contribution to make.
The point is this, you know, what we don't want is a further massive oversupply of the unskilled labour market. We have seen a doubling of youth unemployment in this country since 2004. We've seen strain on primary schools, on NHS places, and growing tensions in many of our smaller cities and market towns around the country. What we want to have is a controlled, sensible immigration policy, not an open door.
I wonder, Nick, do you think that people consider the UK as a soft option? Do you think people do that?
No, it's not a soft option. Believe me, who want to leave their families, their friends, entire life to go in the country where you don't speak the language, where you don't have friends, you don't have jobs. You came and you try to believe in yourself. You try to be confident. You try to believe, you know, God is there and He's not going to let you. So it's quite hard. So don't think it's easy. Imagine yourself if you have to go to China, how you will feel if you don't speak the language, if you don't have the skills, you know. You do nothing there, you don't have friends, how you will feel.
But for most people, it's about money, isn't it? And the fact is that the minimum wage in this country is 8 or 9 times what it is in Romania. I mean, I've met cab drivers in London who are lawyers and doctors back in Bucharest, and they will earn more money coming, getting a job in London, and earning child benefit for their children who are back in Romania. I don't blame Romanians, be they Roma or not, for wanting to come to this country and better themselves. I completely understand. If I was in your position, Nick, I'd do exactly the same thing. But I do blame the British government for allowing it to happen on a scale that we don't have any control over.
Thank you both. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
indeed, and thank you, Nick. Thank you.
It's 16 minutes past 8. It is coming up next.
I'm going at 90 miles an hour.
So jealous. I'd love to have a go on that. Live from the fast lane. Griff Rhys-Jones will be here to tell us about his latest adventure.
And after 5:30 this morning, Paul McKenna has whisked 3 lucky viewers off to the Caribbean to see if he can change their lives for the better in this new year. See how they got on at 8:45. And there's drama in Hobie as Jack and Johnny's baby decides to arrive early. Actor Michael Thompson joins me to tell us all about it.